This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinion. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video. What's up, guys? It's me, Do Not Obey, and let's get into a little short video now. We are talking about Asheville, North Carolina. I'm like maybe 25, 30 minutes, depending on traffic, where they're doing shit on the highway, so therefore it could take longer. But anyway, so this is right near my hometown, right next to my hometown, and in the area that I'm in, okay? We got a lot of crazy-ish that always happens here beyond the crime, but that's another story. So this is called the Siren of the French Broad. And what got me on wanting to give you guys this little story of the French Broad is because of the other story that I had did. I'll try to throw it on the screen about the ghost that the people had seen in the French Broad River. You know, the figure that kept watching the people and they were freaked out about it. And I had told you guys that there were some bodies respectively, that a couple that I did know that I believe that was found right there in that area. And then there's also been numerous sightings of eerie things, figures, and just stories coming out of that area, right? Sorry guys, I feel like I'm crooked. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in here and read this. Now, this is from the website northcarolinaghost.com, the Siren of the French Broad. All right, let's roll. Let's get into the Siren of the French Broad. Basically, the beginning of the article just talks about the city being noisy and how the Appalachians have gotten more crowded and how people is just the Matrix, basically, okay? So they get into this story that was written a long time ago, and it could be allegedly based off of a true story, okay? Now, let's just jump right into it. It's basically saying that if you wanted to get away from all the noise, you could start in Asheville, okay? Because Asheville is also connected to the Appalachian Mountains. Now, it says that if you were a hiker, let's just say he, because we're going with him, his course would naturally be along the French Broad, whose wide banks skirt the city. Now, taking a light pack and a few days' worth of food, he could just set out along the course of the river, pausing frequently to watch the water rolling over the rocks and just enjoy the peacefulness and quiet still to be found on the banks. And it is peaceful in certain areas, but at night, that one area is crazy as hell. Now, but on the first night after he pitches his tent and settles down in his sleeping bag, he may find himself tossing and turning and troubled by strange dreams. A beautiful, dark-haired, dark-eyed woman walks in and out of his restless mind all night. And through the whole night, through his dreams of nothing but her, he can never see her clearly, as she always seems like she's a great distance away. He is woken before, down by the sound of what he thinks is singing. But the sound soon vanishes as he waits in his tent for the light to come. When dawn comes, he cooks his breakfast, packs his tent, and makes his way further down the river, moving more slowly than yesterday, and still feeling groggy and dazed. He doesn't get as far down the river as he thinks he will. And when the evening comes, he's glad to pitch his tent and lay down, wrapped in his bag. You see this on the screen. I think it says there, he expects sleep to come easy after his exhausting day. But again, dreams are troubled by the vision of the dark-haired woman. Again, he awakes to the sound of singing, but this time the voice comes at midnight and after the witching hour. I don't know. Could these be Indian spirits? You know what I mean? Could these actually be sirens? Because I believe once this whole area, especially my hometown, looked like it was in the ocean because I found starfish things back in the 80s and see like ocean creatures, not lake stuff. It was the ocean. We found starfish, seashells, all that. That's the word I was looking for, seashells. Anyway, so by this time the voice comes at midnight, and the young man steps out of his tent, stands by the banks of the river in the darkness. The sound persists. A subtle, beautiful singing full of rich melancholy and precious longing. Enchanted, he lays down by the side of the river. Excuse me, guys. And with the sound in his mind, his exhausted body gives in and he drifts off to sleep. When he wakes on the hard rocks, it's well past dawn, and all he can remember from his dream is that the woman was there again, and at this time she seemed much closer. There go some pictures, real pictures. On the third day, he walks even more slowly to the last, and when he gets to a certain bend in the river where the water collects in a deep pool, he finds himself unwillingly to move from the spot. I wonder if I can find this summer. He pitches his tent well before dusk and sits by the river to wait. Now he's intrigued. Now the spell is working. As twilight descends into night, the young man does not go inside of his tent but still sits by the side of the river, staring into the deep waters of the pool. At, as night comes into its own, the young man hears the sweet singing once again, more indescribably beautiful than any voice he has ever heard. As the voice grows louder, it seems to be coming from the pool of the dark water by his feet. So that may be what? A portal, some type of way in and out of this system, the exodus. Okay, he seems to see a form of a beautiful dark-haired woman rising out of the water towards him. She is naked and more perfect than he could have imagined, the smooth curves of her body seemingly to repeat the slow smooth curve of the river, and he knows that she is singing to him. One thing that I don't understand is not if it matters, but I'm just curious. um what color was she? What ethnicity was she? You know what I mean? What was her background? Unable to resist, the young man reaches into the water to touch the woman, but as her hand wraps around his, it is not warm flesh that he feels, but cold, rough, and slimy scales. Think about it. Mermaid, mermen, sirens, and claws that dig painfully into his arm before he can pull away. Now, if this, we'll get on this. Hold on. Before he even had a chance to scream, the cold grip pulls him into the dark water and he disappears below the surface and to his doom. Another young life lost to the siren of the French Broad. Now, the French Broad looks different. The water's lower, but it does rise, and there have been some people that drowned in it as well when I was little. Shot, respectfully shout out to Tony and his family. I remember them when before I even started kindergarten, that boy passed and his family trying to save him. But anyway, so now they said this story first appeared in a print back in 1845, right? But the name officially appears in 1777, and we got the year 1763 and all this of how it's connected. Anyway, my thing is, think about the time. What if the French Broad was broader? Not as skinny as it is now due to all the cut-ins and the roads and the bridges being put in and the water flow. What if the water that flowed through the French Broad wasn't only lake water, but it also connected to the ocean because there wasn't a lot of things connected to stop water flow. Like everything was just flowing before we started building homes and dams and stuff. What if these creatures, these mermaids, these sirens were able to come in and out from that way through the water? Or there's portals within that French Broad, right? Or all in that area, because of course we know a lot of things over here is native stuff that's been covered up because Westerns just want to, colonize and whatever, just destroy all the magic, guys. Woo. That's why we're all screwed now, allegedly. But anyway, so the deep pool, like a moon pool maybe, or a wormhole, maybe that was one of the exits, like an exit, like one of the last exit or exits, exodus. Okay, going back to that fact and fiction book, just saying, that they're able to get in and out. What if the being that these people seen in the video that I did wasn't talking about a ghost, but this could have been interdimensional beings? They're using the portal through the water. Like, water is another way to go in and out. Like space, I'm telling y'all, I believe it's in the water. I just believe it's in the water, and everything's just flipped, as above, so below, but backwards, because we know that this world is backwards. Everything is backwards. It is. Like, everything is on purpose. I don't know. So I hope you guys did enjoy like this short story. Like I said, do your own research. There's a lot of satanic things that do happen up in these mountains. And a lot of things that's just been covered up and walked over, destroyed, and colonized. And oh, it's cute, let's take it. And all the magic to me has been erased once again. But anyway, so like I always say, guys, do not obey. Stay woke. Peace.